Okay, this is my Orion 5-port engine. I already took most of this stuff off. The head's already been unscrewed. I already took the crank out. All the parts are over here. And I'm going to use my Hudy bearing tool to take the bearings out of this thing. So first thing I'm going to do is get this piece here and put this circular thing on it, which is called the pressure adapter collar bushing or something like that. They have weird names for these things. And I'm going to stick this in the back of the engine. You can see the rear bearing is there, and you can see the front bearing is there. This is going to now push out the front bearing. So I'm going to stick that in there. Now it's out the front side now. And I'm going to put this piece on, which is called the support bushing, and basically it's just going to capture the front bearing when I push it out, and it gives a space for it to fall into. And the other part of the tool is this, which I'm going to screw on. And now that that's on there, and this is tight here, I'm just going to push it out by turning this piece. And I heard it pop, so the front bearing is now out and it's inside that cup. Okay, so the front bearing is out. The rear bearing is still in there, which I'm going to extract now. This is the other part of the tool. The fingers on this are going to open up and it's going to grab the rear main bearing and it's going to extract it. So I'm going to push this inside here. That's in now. I'm turning this thing here so that way it can open up and grab the bearing. Okay, I feel it grabbing. I'm going to tighten this piece up here. Yeah, that's pretty much on there. Okay, now I can feel it grabbing. I'm going to tighten this up as much as I can. Make sure those fingers are grabbing the inner race of the bearing, which they are. Okay, now I'm going to just back the tool out, or unscrew this, which is basically pulling the bearing out while it's doing that. And I can feel the bearing coming out. I heard it click, the bearing's out. The bearing is on the tool still. So I'm going to screw this the other way, which the fingers are now relaxing, and you can see that conical shaped thing coming out. So the fingers will relax and it'll give me this bearing back. So the bearing is out. Now I'm going to put the bearings back in. Well, let me show you the engine crankcase first. You can see the rear bearing is not in there. The front bearing is not in there. Let me get this, whatever that thing is, out of there. And now I'm going to put both of those bearings back in. Okay, so for this part of the tool, I'm going to take this pressure adapter collar bushing out. I'm going to put the rear bearing on the tool. I'm going to put the tool with the rear bearing on it back into the block. I'm going to position the front bearing on the shaft of the tool and right up to where it's supposed to go in the block. I can't push it in by hand. This piece here, which was previously went on this way to capture the bearing inside the cup, I'm going to put on the other way to push the bearing in place, like that. And I'm going to screw this thing down. Okay, now holding the front part and turning the back part, it's pushing in the rear bearing while simultaneously drawing in the front bearing. Okay, the rear bearing has bottomed out and I can't turn that part anymore, so now I'm going to turn the front part of this. And it's pushing the front bearing the rest of the way in. I felt that bottom out. So both bearings are bottomed out inside the crankcase now. Unscrew this. Okay, take that out. You take the cup out. Pull the tool out. And you can see the rear bearing is in there. You see that? Go from the top. Can you see it? And the front bearing is obviously in there. That's it.